Hello students, let's continue with the discussion for newer topic. As we have discussed in previous lecture about the installation, introduction and configuration of WordPress, we were discussed up to the topics that I have selected onto the screen. Now, we are going to discuss about the remaining topics of unit number 2, which starts from user role and capabilities. By default, whenever we have installed WordPress into the system, a one user is created which is called as admin user. But as we know that, and even described into the features of WordPress, WordPress contains multi-user capabilities. Means we can create multiple users with multiple roles who can handle WordPress as they require. So now, in today's discussion, our major concern is on creating the user and maintaining the role of user who handles WordPress for their functionalities. So for that students, we need to get login into the WordPress that we have installed by the specific username and password. Then once the login is done, just look at to the tag option which is available over the navigation bar of dashboard, that is called as user. Click on that option, will return the listing of number of users which is created inside the WordPress. Right now, or we can say currently, there is only a single user created in the WordPress whose name we have assigned as a admin. So over here we will get all the information of that particular user that we have created. Even we can edit the information of created user. Say for example, first we will edit the information of user that we have created by just simply clicking on this edit button. It explores all the functionalities of edit user over here, where it contains the several sections like profile. Under the profile it have personal option like visual editor, admin color theme, keyboard shortcuts, toolbar, name of user which cannot be changed by anyone once it is created, first name, last name of the user, nickname, publicly it is visible as a name, some contact information, profile picture. Suppose we want to generate some new password, strong password, because if you remember, then we have kept a very weak password whenever we have created this admin. Username at the time of WordPress installation. Then last one is very important, logout everywhere else whenever we click this one. This facility is also available in Google right now. Suppose you have logged in different devices and you forgot to log out from that devices, and suppose on a single click you want to log out from all the devices that you have used in your past experience. then it can be done using this single click. Whenever you press this click, this user ID and its session will be terminated from all the devices, and you will get out of that particular devices or number of devices. Now, this is a user edit setting. Say for example, for the name of admin, I am kept my name as a first name and my surname as a second name. I want to display my name as publicly as admin. No need to change for this. You can kept all of this combination of name that you have given into the first name and last name, but generally this was a suitable case. Then at the time of installation, one email ID I have given. Suppose I want to change a runtime, then it can also be possible. For example, I am giving my email ID. Then suppose I have some website, then you can give the name of your portal over here. Suppose I am giving the name of our college website over here. Suppose we want to say something about ourselves, then it can be written over here. Suppose I am giving information like assistant professor and department head IT. Now, suppose I want to keep my profile picture over here, then it can be done using this particular option, or you can directly set it from creating the avatar of yourself from this particular website. For this, internet connection is required. Then suppose I am updating my profile, it will save all these changes permanently and returns the message profile updated. Now suppose whenever I visit my listing page, first over here there is no name, there is an old email ID that was mentioned. The role of myself is administrator, and I have created 2 posts. Lastly, that is test and test 1. So all these things will be displayed over here. Even once the user is created, you can directly delete that particular user from the listing also. Now, this was all about editing the user. Now suppose I want to add a new user, then just click on this add new. It will ask for the username. Suppose I am giving the username called student. Email ID I am giving student@mbmcollege.rajkot.com. First name is a student, second name is also student. Website is www.mbmcollegerajkot.com. Then show password. I don't want to give a very complicated password, though simply I am writing admin. Confirm that I have kept the weak password. Then there is an option for sending the notification for the particular email account that your username and password is created. And at last, you can see over here the role of this particular user. So this was from over here, user role and capabilities. In WordPress, whenever we are creating the user, it provides us several roles like subscriber, contributor, author, editor and administrator. Before going in detail about all these things, First we should require to know that what is user and what is role actually. So user is a one type of subscriber which use the portions of software for which you are creating that particular user. Mainly there are many types of roles are available for the users, but generally there are two main types of role we can give, that is administrator and number one is existing user. Generally these two types of role we can give. Administrator means who have all the rights, means into the entire software user can change, who have administrative privileges, or you can say the role in the software, user can change everything. He or she can visit any corner of the software and anything can be changed by that particular user is called as administrator. Existing user always come under the observation of administrator, which is who contains less number of privileges for accessing the software. I am just taking a one simple example, which is a non-technical example. Say for example, in our college, Archit sir is a director. Whenever any new software is purchased or anything is going to be used by the college, his account is administrative account. That means he can look after to everything by his computer dashboard. He can make any changes. He can visit every corner of the software itself, under which existing users are come. In existing users, the first level of existing users are faculty, and second level of existing users are students. Means faculty have less number of privileges than administrator, but they have more privileges than the subscribers called student. Administrator can handle faculty as well as student, but faculty cannot handle the privileges of administrator. Faculty can handle the privileges of student. Students cannot handle the privileges and the facilities of faculty as well as administrator. So this is actually a one hierarchy which is maintained by the system, that is called as role. So several types of roles are available into the WordPress, like subscriber, contributor, author, editor and administrator. Right now my account is created as a administrative account. That means I can visit and handle every portion of this entire WordPress tool. Suppose I am assigning the student user as a subscriber, then they can only subscribe or send the comment to the post which has been created by the administrator. They cannot perform much functionality than this. Say for example, right now I am creating this particular user as a subscriber. I am just pressing this add a new user button. Once it is done, over the dashboard now there are two users are available. One is admin, another is student. The name of student I have given like this one. Then email ID given like this one, and the role of that particular user is subscriber, which is different than the role of this administrator. Now at the time of login, as a username you have to give student, where I am giving up to this lecture admin. Then you have to give student as a password, where I am giving password as a admin till date. Then just visit. What are the changes in this dashboard? How many options you are getting from this particular dashboard, and observe by yourself. Just I am editing this particular information of students once. Instead of the student, over here I am giving BCA students, and as a nickname I am giving BCA student, and then I am updating the same thing. With changes over here. So this is the way to create the user and to assign the role for the particular user. Yet I have just changed the information of user that I have created. Suppose I want to change the role of user, then it can also be possible by just browsing up to this particular option, and then you can change the role from subscriber to contributor and make change. Just look at to the listing of the page, role of that particular gets changed. So students, there is a one homework for all of you. Just create the user in a WordPress, assign the different types of role, logged into the WordPress system, and observes that what you are getting the difference in all this panel. Should you get any difference? Yes or no? If yes, what are the differences that you are getting? You have to note it down as a practice for the WordPress. So this was all about user role and capabilities. Now the next one is for different types of settings. Settings are available into the WordPress over here. Into the settings, there are many options like general, writing, reading, discussion, media, and permalink settings. Setting means adjustments. Setting means changes which you want to do for your site that you are handling right now. Say for example, whenever we clicked onto the setting, it opens a window like this. In that, first of all, we can directly set the title of our website from over here, which we have discussed in our previous lecture, by customizing the website. And under the customization of website, into the site identity, we can change the site title, which can directly be done over here. Same like title changes, we can also change the tagline. Tagline can also be changed by site identity option into the customization of website, which can be directly done using this second line. Then third one is WordPress address, or you can say site URL address means from which location your entire WordPress get executed will be mentioned over here. This will comes automatically whenever you install your WordPress into the system. This address is similar to the address which is mentioned over the URL. So just look at to the line of URL over here up to this slash, and just look at to the line that we have written over here. Both are same. So from this location and the port ID called 8081, WordPress get executed and you will see the output onto the screen. Then the email address at the time of installation for admin user we have given as a mvmwordpress@gmail.com. So that email ID will be displayed over here. Now suppose you want any user to get registered to your post or the pages or your website, such type of facility that you want to give, then over the membership you need to just click on anyone can register. It automatically give you the login window for the theme that we have developed which maintains our website. For example, suppose I am writing this URL and executing the code. This is the site that we have, and whenever we click on this and make a save changes, whenever you refresh the page, sorry, there is some technical error is there. Let me check later on, then I will tell you. Then the new user default role for your site may be of subscriber, contributor, author, editor or administrator that we have previously discussed. Then there is a time zone. Different country have different time zones. We can directly set from over here. Then there is a date and time which we can set. Then we can set the week starts on. Then the language of the site. Many languages will be provided by this. If you remember then into the discussion of WordPress, one of the features that we have discussed, that is WordPress is a multilingual. So this multilingual feature is justified over here. You can see that WordPress supports many languages. So that can be done using this particular option. Just save changes and that's all. Everything works fine according to the task that you have decided. So this is called as a general setting. Now there are specialized settings are also available into the WordPress. For say for example, first one is general settings. So whatever we have visited are actually the general settings. Then next one is writing settings. This is related with actually the post and page that we have handling through this WordPress dashboard. So by default, suppose you want to take all the comments into the particular post, then it can be directly set from here. If you remember that, then at the time of creating the post, we have created two different types of post, that is material and student. Then we have decided the post of particular then we have decided the format of post may be a standard, which you can go for any one of this. You can go for aside, a chat, gallery, link, image, quote, status, video and voice. Anything you can directly change from over here. That particular post can be go through the particular mail if you requires. Then email statement is there, but This could work if your internet is connected with the system, otherwise it works locally for the system by writing mail.example.com and the login ID that I have given here over here. No need to give the password, no need to give the mail category. Put this particular setting as it is, which is by default given by the WordPress. Now this all setting works with post, because in a post user can give their comments, that is actually called as writing. Next one is reading. Reading is related not with the post, but it is related with the page, which can be displayed as a front page onto the screen. Right now, suppose we are executing this particular page onto the screen. It's actually a one type of page. Now suppose I am executing this one. Then it's a post, because post enables the users to write something and post something by this page. Page will not allow all these things. So that is the difference between write and read. Post comes under the category called write, and page comes under the category called read. So right now we are discussing about read. So into the read, if you remember then, into the customization of website, the last topic that we have discussed is front page setting, which we can directly set from here. Any page you can give as a first page whenever you execute the WordPress. Then blog page shows as the most, syndication feed to show the most recent. Actually these are the countings, maximum number of listing into the listing, how many posts or pages that you requires can be done using this particular setting. For each article, feed shows full text or summary. That means over the page, suppose we requires a portion of the text or the full portion of the text, then it can be done using these two options. Suppose we want to make our website search engine enabled, then just remove this particular click which we have done at the time of installation and make the save changes. So there are three sections right now. General is for general settings, or we can say the simple settings we have. This writing is related with the settings of post. This reading is related with the settings of page. Now next one is discussion. Actually this discussion is related with the comments and miscellaneous settings that we have for comments and tag. No need to discuss more about this. Keep this thing as a by default that we have. Then next one is media. Media setting means whenever we are attaching any photographs, videos, etc., there is a by default thumbnail size you can visualize over here. Say for example, right now this media I have attached, it contains a one size. Suppose we want to change the size of that media, that is actually called as thumbnail. Its thumbnail means it's a preview of this particular image. Suppose you want to change the width and height of that particular thumbnail, you can directly change it from over here. There are three options supported by this over here: thumbnail size, medium size, large size, and uploading into the month and year based on folder that I will show you where it is going to be stored. These changes can be saved and it reflects over here. Last one is related with the permalink. Permalink means, if you observe, whenever we have created the number of posts or the page, once the post or page gets created, automatically one link comes over here that is called as permalink. That settings can be done over here. For example, suppose you want to take a plain permalink, day and time, month and name, numeric, post name, custom structure, permalink you requires, anything you can change from over here and you can make a save changes. But by default, WordPress suggests to keep permalink settings based on day and name. So don't change anything into the settings. Students, I request all of you to just go through these settings, but don't make a major changes into this particular option. It might possible that it can corrupt or it can stop WordPress working properly till you don't have an expertise knowledge into the settings. It's just for the review purpose over here right now. So this was all about user role and capabilities and the settings that we can do into the WordPress. Now it's time to go for updating the WordPress by single click or by manual. I will suggest all of you, if we requires to update the WordPress, then we should go for manual update. That means, what is the difference between these two, one click update and manual update? Say for example, over the dashboard there is an option of update. Whenever you click on this update, it redirects to the update page. Whenever you press this update now, it will automatically update the version of WordPress from current that you are using to the latest one which is available into the market. Suppose I press update now, then my WordPress version gets updated up to the 5.1.6. That is called as one click updation. But I request all the students not to update WordPress right now. We will do it later on. And the second one is manual update. Manual update means first we need to download the latest version. Whenever you click on download the new version, that is download 5.1.6, automatically one zip file will be downloaded from the official website of WordPress. Then into the download folder, just extract that particular file and if you remembers that, just copy it, go into the C drive, XAMPP, htdocs and paste it. Will replace older WordPress file to the newer WordPress file. Benefit of doing this one is what? All the old setting of your dashboard will be continued into the latest version of WordPress. But I request again all the students not to go for updating the WordPress yet, either in terms of single click or manual update, but we can do it later on. Now the last topic of unit number 2 is database structure. Up to this everything is fine. We knows that how to handle the post, how to handle the media, how to handle the pages, how to handle the comments, how to handle the users, how to handle the tools, how to handle the settings, everything, and lastly how to customize the site. Everything is clear, but practice makes a perfect. Till you don't practice on this dashboard, you cannot go ahead for advanced options. But one question comes in our mind. Whenever we have created this post with this some text, or you can say the media, where it going to be physically stored? Means where the actual data resides. It's not in the air. Somewhere into the computer system that particular data should be stored. So that can be now justified by discussing the option called database structure. That means at the time of WordPress installation, one database that we have created, the name of that database is WordPress itself. In that WordPress, many tables get automatically created after the successful completion of WordPress. The tables are like this: WP underscore comment meta, comments, link, so on. I will not repeat all these things. But here WP means WordPress. Then underscore is a prefix and the name of table is given over here. I will not describe all right now, but first I would like to show you WP underscore users. What comes under the WP underscore users? Yes, you are right. Whatever the users that we have created kept the detail of that particular users inside this particular database table. Means whenever we have created the user with special roles, that user and all the information gets stored over here. Lastly, we have created the user called admin, yet in this lecture we have created a one more user called student. So this information will be stored automatically over here in this WP underscore user. Means whenever you are handling, whenever you are creating the users, it is not in here, it is going to be stored inside the database table automatically by the WordPress whenever you click the submit button. So same like that, another table that I want to demonstrate right now is WP underscore post. If you remember, then right now there are two posts are available into the system, that is test and test1. But in database, how many changes that you have done into that particular post will be stored in detail about all these posts. Say for example, starting with the date called 10th of 7th 2020, hello world and sample page I have published or deleted. Over here we can see the status. Then I have created a one new post called content management system using WordPress. Then I have deleted that. Then I have inherited that. I have again inherited for multiple times. Then I have added some content on that particular post. Then I have added some image onto that particular post. Everything will be stored in this particular database table automatically by the WordPress. So WordPress not only maintains the content of users, but it also maintains the database table with the specific type of data which passed by the user to the WordPress. So that is called as database structure. Even one more thing we will take parallelly with is WordPress directory and file structure. It is actually related with this option called C drive, XAMPP, htdocs, WordPress, and these directories and the file. Suppose I look into the WP admin, and inside that, suppose I am going into the user folder, sorry, my mistake, WP content. Then suppose I am going into the uploads, then there is a one folder 2020 because yet we have started handling the WordPress. In that there is a 7 folder. Whatever the images that I have uploaded for this entire website, you will find over here. that is called as content management system using WordPress. Means image content is stored inside the image directory of content. What I want to say, again I am repeating my words. In WordPress, there is a one folder called wp_content. All the content of website will be stored inside this particular only. That represents WordPress directory and file structure. Means everything precisely stored into the separate folders of WordPress. So students, here we have completed about the detailed discussion of our unit number 2, that is introduction, installation and configuration of WordPress. In next lecture, we'll go for unit number 3 in detail, which gives the idea about the theme and widgets. So in next lecture, we'll discuss more about that in detail. Thank you very much and have a nice day.